why should we be excited about Marshall? I believe he is your wide receiver 4, my wide receiver 7. So obviously there's a difference of opinion here, and that's okay. So why should we be excited about Terrace Marshall, Badaki?
Look, I love Terrace Marshall. I think he is the guy, in my opinion. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. I think he is a massive talent. He's huge. Don't get me wrong. Once again, 6'3", he's probably one of the bigger top receivers in this first round group. Okay, first to second round group. He has the NFL size for wide receiver. He can contest the catch. Mind you, 6'3". He's gonna go up. He has that wide catch radius. He has a good burst of speed. Look, I like to compare him purely per size, not talent, size. A-Rob, okay, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones. I think of him in that body. And if he can crisp up his abilities and really master his craft, I believe he can be like these guys. Okay. Obviously, he does have some weaknesses. You know, there's a lot of unknown if he can actually be the wide receiver 1. But you know who was a question mark of becoming a wide receiver 1? That was Davante Adams. He came into the league. Okay. Obviously, he had the talent. Obviously, he was this guy that a lot of people, you know, the Packers picked him, and he was like, well, we don't know if he can be this guy. He struggled his first 2 years, but what did Davante Adams do? He mastered his craft. And I think if Terrace Marshall can master his craft, then he can really excel in this position. I love the bigger wide receiver, okay? Yeah. I think a true wide receiver 1, which we've all have seen, obviously the NFL is changing, but which we all have seen are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", like the A-Robs, like the Michael Thomas.
Okay, what about the weight though? He doesn't have that 6'3" weight. He's only 200 pounds.
I think that's a given. That, you know, when you get into the NFL, depending on, you know, your position and how you're playing, you're either going to lose weight. The NFL, whoever team, you know, you get on, you're going to lose weight, or you're going to put on some weight. Okay, I expect Terrace Marshall to put on, 15, 20 pounds, you know, a lot of muscle weight for sure, muscle mass. So I believe Terrace Marshall is an extraordinary talent. Obviously, he was the other guy in LSU in 2019. Yeah. You know, he had obviously Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. He was only in 7 games in 2020. Only has 7 drops out of 55. But I think that's really good. You know, I think that's really good. He can definitely improve. 7 is a lot. Anything over for me, 5 to 4 to 5. That's like, whoa, bro.
Well, especially if you only got thrown 55 catchable balls.
Yeah, look,
that's got to be a weakness.
It definitely is a weakness. Like you said, like he has weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses. Okay, yeah. But there was some drop issues for him in 2020. But I think that can once again be improved. He has to master his craft.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have to master his craft. He did put together a nice little season in 2020. Only 7 games he played. He did have 730 yards and 10 touchdowns. So, to be fair, he did have a decent game. We have found Dan Orlovsky out of ESPN comparing him to Michael Thomas. I'm not sure I love that comparison, but I see the similarities. And honestly, pro comparisons are so difficult. Like, you're not going to get an exact comp.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's just the reality. Justin Jefferson is another guy we have seen. I don't love that comparison because I believe Jefferson was a more complete wide receiver coming out of college than Marshall is. I think there's a lot of areas of Marshall's game that need to develop. But he does have the body, and that is something that should excite you when you look at a guy like Terrace Marshall.
Yeah.
Wow. Big body, has the size to grow into, if you will. So I get it. I see it. But what are some potential landing spots for Terrace Marshall? What makes sense?
Look, first team I can think of. First I'll tell you the teams that need a wide receiver. Okay, the Lions, the Ravens, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Eagles. Okay, all right. I think obviously all these teams can take Terrace Marshall, but the first team that popped up to me right now that I have on this list is the Ravens. Once again, I think I spoke about this.
Why it's every team you're saying these are?
Yeah,
if there's a big wide receiver, Badaki's the Ravens. A big wide receiver. Like that meme where there's a button and the guy just smashes
it. It's the Ravens, yeah.
You're like, bro. Wide receiver? Is he big? Is he tall?
Ravens. I mean, look, if you are Ravens fans, you know that you need a big wide receiver. Okay, you have Hollywood Brown. You have Sheesh, I forgot the other guy. They got drafted last year.
Duvernay.
Yeah, Devin Duvernay. Look, you need a bigger guy. Devin Duvernay is. I can't even tell you how tall he is. Let me look that up. But I believe that he's 6 foot at best. Okay, I believe that if you get a bigger wide receiver like a Terrence
Just
Marshall,
to clarify, Devin Duvernay is 1.8 meters.
you gotta love it, meters. Convert it.
Let's see, which is 5'10". He's 5'11", 5'10".
That's a big jump. That's a huge jump. Obviously, the other big guy is Mark Andrews. He's a tight end. Get freaking Lamar Jackson, a big receiver that can go up and contest the catch. Yeah. Terrence Marshall would be that guy.
I don't know.
So I love that fit. Obviously, the Packers, the Chiefs. Once again, the Chiefs, they need a bigger, tall guy. Sammy Watkins could be out of there. Obviously, Tyreek Hill is a smaller, speedy. McCall Harmon, speedy. All these speedy guys. I get it.
Yeah.
That's my perfect fit.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the best of fantasy football. We got some more videos as well if you're feeling like it. And lastly, don't forget that you can support us and unlock exclusive content by signing up to our Patreon, patreon.com/fantasylandfam.